Morning, everyone. Welcomes on behalf of Prisa IAS Karol Bagh, New Delhi. Our UPSC mains answer writing series is going on, and it is very meaningful for you because the mains is the primarily determinant for your selection. That's why it is utmost in priority. And I have already told so many times that the out of 20 questions of GS 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions is so crucial or so tough that not everybody can solve in a proper manner, because the understanding of question is the different. If you are not getting that question in the right spirit, in that situations your answer will not be proper. So that 4-5 question is a determinant. In this test answer writing series, I always focus only on that 4-5 questions in depth, and the rest of the question does not require so many understanding, so many intelligence, so many common sense. So I just cursory passed on that question, but the toughest question I find out amongst the 20, and the said questions discuss every day in depth. So this is the question pertaining to the 2021 GS2 UPSC mains 2021, and the question number is 17. It is saying that thou women in post-independence India have excelled in various fields. The social attitude towards women and feminist movement has been patriarchal. Apart from women education and women empowerment scheme, what interventions can help change this milieu? अब देखिए सारा कुछ जो है क्वेश्चन में है, all the adjectives, all the attributes is already been incorporated in these questions. It is saying that thou women in post-independent have excelled in various fields. The social attitudes towards women and feminist movement has been patriarchal. This statement is correct, no doubt, there is no confusion. But the question is that apart from women education and women empowerment scheme, what interventions can help change this milieu? सब कुछ तो हो ही गया है, डिस्पाइट ऑफ दैट आपको और क्या करने की जरूरत है? तो जस्ट यू थ्रो द लाइट ऑन वेरियस स्कीम्स, various field, where women empowerment schemes, this one. So you just mention the women empowerment schemes, just supporting that statement. Yes, this statement is good, and it is correctly saying that due to this scheme and the women educations and this and that, this stage has already been achieved. ये यहाँ तक आप जो है you can write, and you can support by this mentioning all these schemes and whatever. But this is not the question. Question is that what intervention can help change this milieu? इन सब के अलावा योजनाओं के अतिरिक्त यहाँ तक तो कुछ नहीं है. Besides all these schemes, what intervention is required? So that focus to be 70%, more than 70%. 25-30% will be the background, whatever you want to write in your answer book about the women education, women empowerment, this scheme, that scheme. It does not get more than 25-30% of your score. But the question is this: what intervention? This question pertaining to the brainstorming type of questions. and the answer of each and every aspirants will be different, because that will be the based on your objectivity. What type of objectivity, what type of thinking, what type of measures, what type of ideology you think. It might be possible that what you are thinking that should not match with my thinking. So that is the totally radical sort of answer and fundamental sort of answer, मौलिक विचार जिसे कहते हैं. So I would like to just throw these questions before you. What do you think? Because this is not the proper answer in books, because that is again subjectivity. और अगर आप उसको लिख देते हैं तो that is not the creativity. Yes. So what do you think? As far as my concern is associated with this question, so I thought कि what intervention, the first intervention in my opinion is ideological changes. Ideological changes. और इस पे आप लिखिए कम से कम 50 वर्ड. What is ideology? From where it generates, from where it starts to grow. Ideological changes means कि what? Yes, very good. बहुत बढ़िया. Changing the mindset, changing the opinion, changing the attributes of the manpower, changing the temperament, changing the approaches, changing the upagam जिसको हिंदी में कहते हैं, changing the reflections, changing the attitudes. All these phenomena covers under one term, that is ideological changes. ठीक है. और फिर इस पे आगे आप लिखिए कि हाउ दिस आइडियोलॉजिकल चेंजेस विल टेक प्लेस. तो दैट इज बेटर एजुकेशन सिस्टम. व्हाट इज बेटर? दैट इज एथिक्स एंड मोरल्स. नैतिक शिक्षा, दैट वाज द पार्ट ऑफ एजुकेशन. राइट नाउ आई एम नॉट अवेयर कि वेदर दिस सब्जेक्ट इज कंटिन्यूइंग और नॉट. नैतिक शिक्षा हम लोग पढ़ते थे पहले, मुझे ध्यान है. मोरल साइंस जिसमें इंग्लिश में कहते हैं, अगर सिलेबस में है तो अच्छी बात है ना. तो दैट एजुकेशन, बेटर एजुकेशन मीन्स द थिंग्स शुड बी बेस्ड ऑन द क्वालिटी टू सर्वाइव द मैनकाइंड, rather than the focusing on the economics, focusing on the politics, focusing on the geography. That is also required, but focusing on the moral science, focusing on the ethics, that is utmost requirement in the schooling education system, so that the child should grow in such an environment and his or her mindset to be framed in such a way that he or she should respect the women's or girls students in the class. So that is ideological changes. Second changes pertaining to ideological, that we should start a course related to ideology as a subject or as a part of contents of any ethics or morals. आपको सिलेबस में या रेस्पेक्ट टू फैकल्टी ऑल्सो. तो ये सारी चीजें जो है एज ए सब्जेक्ट या पार्ट ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट यू कैन स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द एजुकेशन सिस्टम, सो दैट बच्चा जो है जब जैसे जैसे एज बच्चा ग्रोज, हिज और हर माइंड सेट टू बी exactly, to be in such a way that he or she should respect to the seniors, to women's, respect to others, and this and that, gender equality, whatever. So that program, that system is required to facilitate that ideology. Clear है? Second is role of social reformer. फर्स्ट था आइडियोलॉजी, दूसरा आप लिखिए रोल ऑफ, हाँ, बीइंग, यू आर नॉट द, सॉरी, फिल इन करिए तो पूरा ये वाला नहीं आता क्या, some more. So first was ideology and second is social reformer. Being an IAS officer or any government servant, whether do you think that you are social reformer? This is a question. Kyo, Lucky? This statement, whether this statement is true or false. If it is true or false, then it becomes a question. If whether civil servant or whether government officials is working as a social reformer. कैसे?
They want to change the society.
Okay.
The way of changing the reforms towards education. They are encouraging in this all the issues.
Okay.
So, they are a social.
What do you think, Lucky? Whether government officials deemed to be social reformer? How? बिल्कुल सही कह रहा हो. प्रैक्टिकलिटी okay, you directly indirectly work as a social reformer, but in technical terms you are not social reformer. Anybody who is working for the society's upliftment, all those officials or all those persons to be treated as a social reformer. If you are counseling a boy, you should not do like that. That role has become social reformer. But that is the empirical, that is practical things which are you and me and IAS or non-IAS, everybody is doing. But whenever we talk about the institutions of government official, in that scenario, your role is not meant for the social reformer, because social reformers activities is totally based on the ethics, morals, not on the legal frame, because there are lots of activities which is illegal, either illegal या illegal, है ना. So that role you cannot perform. You cannot camp 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a village. Otherwise, the question will arise: कि how did you decide that the only X village will be taken care as a social reformer by you? There are thousands of villages in your area. है कि नहीं? So such type of anomaly, such type of criticism, such type of demerits emerges. That's why your role cannot be a social reformer in terms of illegality, because that another story will start. है कि नहीं? If you are belonging to the particular district and you are posted some other area and that district is also covered under your jurisdiction, or you are always visiting your area for upliftment or for social rectification, social improvement, the people will start, RTI will start against you that the why Mr. X officer always visit that Y area, because he or she is Sasural, his mother-in-law, father-in-law resides there. So that role will become like criticized, become like illegal. So indirect way. So we cannot play the social reformer roles in a conspicuous manner, but yes, daily routine work is also a kind of social reformer job, but we are not social reformer. The role of social reformer should be very, very peculiar for the changes of a status of women. There are lots of social reformers group, but NGO, whichever NGO is pertaining to the women empowerment, that is not social reform. Social reform means just reformers like Kailash Satyarthi, like वो लेडी है ना एक नर्मदा बचाओ आंदोलन, क्या नाम है उनका, नहीं कुछ नाम है भूल गया. तो इस टाइप के सोशल रिफॉर्मर चाहिए जो सोसाइटी में गांव गांव मोहल्ले, नहीं उनका नाम कुछ और है, मुझे एग्जैक्ट ध्यान नहीं आ रहा। अरुंधति राय अलग है, उनका नाम अरुंधति नहीं, ही वाज सी वाज एक्स IAS ना। टाइप कर लो, नर्मदा बचाओ खट से आ जाएगा। बी राइट टू बिकम मोर स्मार्टर रेदर देन वाचिंग योर लैपटॉप और मोबाइल, इट इज बेटर टू जस्ट सर्च, है कि नहीं? तो द सेकंड इज सोशल रोल ऑफ सोशल रिफॉर्मर्स। थर्ड इज सोशलाइजेशन प्रोसेस बाय पेरेंट्स। बच्चा जब जन्म लेता है, व्हेन द किड्स टेक बर्थ, after that the inculturation whatever going on in the family, that is the prime objective, that is the crucial means to get his or her mindset changing and built up their mindset. Medha Patekar, good, Medha Patekar. So such type of social reformers is required for country, but you should be surprised to know that such type of social reformer is not emerging in the society whatsoever it was the early days. I am not aware about any social reformers whosoever has emerged, whosoever has taken participate or started social reforming in previous 10-20 years. I am not aware. It might be, I am not aware, it means कि there is no significant name like Kailash Satyarthi. So this role is very, very crucial. The third was the inculturation या socialization by the parents. जब बच्चा जन्म लेता है, after that whatever you promote, whatever you give input in his or her minds, that will be the determinant for forever his or her life. लेकिन होता क्या है, गलत होता है। When there is a male or female child in the family, female child always gets suppressed, दबा दी जाती है उसको। और एक गांव में सबसे ज़्यादा है। धीरे धीरे स्थिति इज गेटिंग इम्प्रूव्ड, but not up to the mark whichever is required to be improved on the level of that. So this socialization process, differentiated socialization process in family is not up to the mark. That's why the attitudinal problem persists after getting 15 or 18 years of the age of the child. गांव में आज भी कहते हैं कि लड़का है अगर 10 गलती कर दिया तो दैट इज एक्सेप्टेबल, बट लड़की अगर एक गलती कर देती है तो दैट इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल. पीपल विल मेक डिस्टिंग्विश कि व्हाई आर यू डूइंग लाइक दिस, यू कुड नॉट डू, शी शुड नॉट डू दिस बिकॉज यू आर गर्ल. तो ये डिफरेंस इज. द थर्ड इज सोशलाइजेशन और inculturation by the society, by the family. And fourth is schools education, including neighbors, intra-school meet, inter-school meets, peer groups, है ना, heterogeneous group. So is the role of fourth role will be the school, and school will make real meaning by creating perceptions, by creating value system for the female child, for the female students in mind of male students. और इसका तरीका ये होता है कि जब भी स्कूल एनी एक्टिविटीज स्टार्ट्स, देयर शुड बी heterogeneous group, heterogeneous culture. It should be promoted. But once this has not been made as a mixing group, as a heterogeneous group by mixing male and female students, then problem again starts. तो अभी माइंडसेट क्या है कि अगर स्कूल में जाइए तो आज भी माइंडसेट ये है कि फीमेल student will be sit in this row and male will sit in this row and that row. So that stigma to be eliminated and the heterogeneously group to be seated along with the male female, so that in Labasna this is very good culture. IIT also having such type of arrangement, male female heterogeneous. हाँ. हम्म.
ladies, they are not bothering about it.
नहीं नहीं, that culture should be started right from class first or LKG UKG. Okay.
In LB,
Lavasna. Lavasna is very good because, but there is also problem. They are not overcome from the mindset of patriarchal society, because there is year marked hostel of female student officers and year marked for the male officers, and the door gets closed at 10 o'clock in night. No female officers will go to the male hostel, and no male will enter into the female hostel. What does it mean? No, all these bullshits are. But again, there is good concept in Gujarat where the railway officers gets training. There is heterogeneous culture. My adjacent room belongs to the female officer, and no restrictions of day, night, any time, no closure of gates, no nothing. Even अमेरिका में देखिए, वो और 4 कदम आगे, दे आर 4 स्टेप्स बियॉन्ड आवर्स, बिकॉज देर इज नो रेस्ट्रिक्शंस इन ए रूम कि बॉयज और गर्ल्स एक साथ नहीं रहेंगे, एक ही रूम में दोनों रहते हैं. इट डज नॉट मेक डिफरेंस कि बेड इज सेपरेट और नॉट. अब देखिए वो 2 कदम और आगे हैं. तो थ्योरी क्या है कि जैसे जैसे as soon as you are getting tightness or rigidness of the system, that rigidness reflects in the multifold in bad manner. उसका कोई अच्छा good impact नहीं दिखाई पड़ता. You will find that there is a negative results coming out by this method, and making heterogeneous the different type of culture, different type of mindset, different type of attitudes develop in the society, in the male and female both. What is the need to just close the door? वहीं बड़ौदा में नहीं करता है, मसूरी में करता है. माइंडसेट देखिए ना. बट दिस इज अ गुड थिंग when we have been sent to the field visit or village visit, in that time there is no any provision of separation, because only one room is there, and you take your bed or whatever on floor. This is the female candidate, and here this is the male officer. In single room all both are. यही हो रहा है. But the question is that कि whenever you, unless until you are not changing your mindset, till then there is no scope of improvement. Again ideological. So you will have to write in this way, just like essay, by creating your own signature, by creating your own value, so that it should reflect that you are thinking in a better manner by quoting such type of examples. ठीक है ना. तो ये है इसका आंसर. और इन माय ओपिनियन नो अदर क्वेश्चंस इज सो. हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. एक्चुअली क्या है कि इसमें पूछ रहा है कि आपको क्या लगता है, व्हाट डू यू थिंक कि हाउ इंटरवेंशन एंड व्हाट इंटरवेंशन इज नीडेड. आपने अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछा, लेकिन उसमें अच्छा आंसर बोला आपने, लेकिन उसमें गड़बड़ी क्या है कि पूछ रहा है कि व्हाट इंटरवेंशन यू थिंक. अगर आप कहेंगे इक्वल पे फॉर इक्वल जेंडर विदाउट एनी डिफरेंशिएशन ऑन द जेंडर बेसिस, so that is not your idea. It is already enrooted in law, it is already implemented, it is already under implementation. So this credit will not award you by the examiner, because this is not new things, है ना. तो आप लिखने को लिख दीजिए, लेकिन that will not be helpful for getting higher score. ये मेरा कहने का मतलब. Whatever you write, that should be innovative in this way, because such type of answer is not mentioned anywhere. Answer would be mentioned, but might be कि their terminology, their rectifications, their measures would be different from you, है कि नहीं? और वो भी सही होगा, ये मैं नहीं कह रहा हूँ. Your attitudes or intervention measures will as good as mine, will as good as her. लेकिन अगर आपने पुरानी कोई बात लिख दी जैसे आपने बताया, तो इन दैट सिचुएशन विल नॉट गेट एनी अवार्ड, यू विल गेट माइनस मार्किंग, यू विल गेट 0 मार्किंग. बट व्हाट एवर यू बुलशिट यू राइट, व्हाट एवर यू थिंक कि नहीं एक जादू का चिराग होना चाहिए और उसको लेके जो है लड़की को मसाल दे करके कहना चाहिए तुम चलो आगे और हम उसको फॉलो करेंगे. दिस इज ऑल्सो ए मेजर. इन माई ओपिनियन इंटरवेंशन इज रिक्वायर्ड इन सच ए मैन. There should be nukkad natak and drama and civil and defense organization to be called for conducting the awareness and intervention for the female child, for the female group of the society by uplifting that any type of activities and promote that activities in society so that people should see and act in his or her family. कह रहे यार वहाँ बोला था कि बेटी को पढ़ाना है, नहीं तो सब गड़बड़ है ना. क्योंकि वो आजकल तो स्लोगन भी बहुत है. आप कुछ ऐसा स्लोगन लिख सकते हैं, कह सकते हैं कि सरकार शुड ट्राई टू मेक ए स्लोगन competitions amongst at all India level and whosoever will be the get selected, that will be the brand ambassador for बेटी बचाओ या equal status of whatever. तो such type of idea can also be incorporated. अब आप सोचेंगे यार लिखूं कि ना लिखूं, यार कहीं गलत तो नहीं हो जाएगा. इस एग्जाम की दिस इज द ब्यूटी कि यू डोंट थिंक व्हाट आर यू गोइंग टू राइट, व्हाट एवर कम्स इन योर माइंड यू राइट इट. इन केस ऑफ सच टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस, no restriction, no thinking that whether it is right or wrong, because in your opinion it might be right or wrong, but in the opinion of others will be the drastic, will be the prime, will be the radical. Is a good idea यार. अगर किसी ने ये लिखा, मैं आगे बात कर रहा हूँ इस पे, किसी ने ये लिखा, मुझे आपका टी शर्ट देख करके ध्यान आया कि आप एक टी शर्ट कैंपेन बंटवा दीजिए कि रेस्पेक्ट वीमेंस, इट इज ए इंटरवेंशन. आप ऑटो रिक्शा के पीछे सटवा दीजिए कि बीइंग दिस ड्राइवर ऑलवेज रेस्पेक्ट वीमेंस, इट इज ए इंटरवेंशन. है कि नहीं? क्या जरूरत है सिर्फ 8 मार्च को महिला दिवस मनाने की? आप रोज मनाइए ना. जस्ट पुटिंग, you write you write in your answer that just putting a word by auto driver or by Ola Uber driver, when the female guest, female customer comes in his or her auto or cab, he or she should say welcome ma'am please. Just putting welcome ma'am, you are respecting, you are intervening in the upliftment of the women's. यही तो पूछ रहा है वो कि ये सब तो हो ही रहा है, सब कुछ है, सब कुछ मिल गया, लेकिन व्हाट इंटरवेंशन कैन हेल्प टू चेंज. तो ये सब इंटरवेंशन और करिए. और जानते हैं जब आपको ये सब लिखना होगा, इन दैट वे यू विल थिंक दैट वो माय आंसर हैज गॉन रॉटन, यार बेकार आई हैव रिटन सच टाइप ऑफ बुलशिट्स. कुछ पता ही नहीं चल रहा था, तो चलो टाइम पास करने के लिए बड़े भारी मन से विद अ हेवी हार्ट you are writing your answer by just weeping and crying. But mind my sentence कि that answer will get higher and higher mark because that is the total originality. समझ रहे हैं ना? That is fruitful. ऑटो पे बोला हमने, या टी शर्ट पे बोला, या छोटी छोटी बातों पे बोला. ये कल्चर होना चाहिए कि महिला आए तो जो लोग बैठे हैं वो खड़े हो जाएं in respect of women. It is a protocol also, but nobody knows this protocol. In any seminar or workshop or any other activities where the male and female are seated, whenever the male will come as a guest, female whosoever is seated, she will not stand up. ऐसा होना चाहिए. Whenever any female guest comes in the hall, then everybody should stand up. लेकिन पुरुष के आने पे, मेल गेस्ट के आने पे फीमेल विल नॉट स्टैंड अप, बिकॉज ये माना गया है, इवन इन द हिंदू फिलोसफी, वेयर एवर वीमेंस गेट वर्शिप देर इज द रेजिडेंस, देर इज द हेवेंस, कहते हैं ना, यत्र नार्यस्ते पूज्यन्ते तत्र रमन्ते देवता, संस्कृत का एक श्लोक है। तो सच टाइप ऑफ आंसर टू बी फ्रेम, ठीक है, ओके। ये क्वेश्चन सिंपल है, नॉट सो टफ। Civil society and NGO present an alternative model of public service delivery to benefit the common citizen. Discuss the challenge. Normal question है, but you will have to know that what is the difference between civil society and NGO. Civil society and NGO, civil society may be NGO, but NGO may not be civil society. Clear है? Civil society is advanced than NGO. Civil society works and on behalf of government as a NGO, but their contribution is much more enrooted. Their role is defined in the policy making. Their role is defined in any PIL sort of issue, any facility, any infrastructure creations, right from concept to commissioning. तो वहाँ तक ये लोग सलाह फ्री में देते रहते। ये इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस का क्वेश्चन है, SCO।